Welcome to the Parkway RE podcast, the pulse of West Roxbury and Boston's Parkway community. This is where neighborhood stories come to life. We showcase the real people behind the businesses we trust, the local gems our community loves, the services that keep our neighborhood moving, and the organizations doing work that truly changes lives. And yes, real estate is part of the story too. The homes, the history, the market, and the momentum, shared from the front steps, not from the sidelines. No scripts, no noise, just real conversations with the real people shaping our streets. Whether you live here, work here, or just love this corner of Boston like we do, welcome to the Parkway RE podcast. Welcome, everyone, to the Parkway Real Estate podcast. I'm your host, Danielle O'Brien, and today we are focusing on the engine that drives our vibrant local business district and keeps our neighborhood feeling like home. We are joined by Lindsey Chase, the Executive Director of West Roxbury Main Streets. And as a local business owner myself and a company that is, owning a company that's deeply invested in the neighborhood, we see firsthand the incredible work that West Roxbury Main Street does every single day. And I'm so excited to feature Lindsey Chase here with us so that she can help us really dive deep into what's going on behind the scenes, from organizing beloved community events to providing critical support for small business. West Roxbury Main Street is at the heart of what makes West Roxbury thrive. And Parkway Real Estate, our office is located right in the middle of the district, and we're grateful for everything that Lindsey and WRMS has done. When I decided to start the podcast, I knew immediately that the organization that connects us all, West Roxbury Main Streets, would be one of our first guests. So with that being said, I am really excited to introduce Lindsey, who is here to share the mission of West Roxbury Main Streets, the impact of their work, and how the community can get involved in supporting our local economy. Welcome to the show, Lindsey.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
This episode is sponsored by Parkway Real Estate. For more information, call 857-400-9078 or reach us online at parkway.realestate.
I am really happy to have you as my first guest. Thank you so much for the support. For listeners who may see the West Roxbury Main Street logo at events but don't really know the full scope of the work, can you share what West Roxbury Main Streets is and what made you personally want to take on the role of Executive Director?
Sure. So West Roxbury Main Streets is its own individual nonprofit organization. And sometimes that can get a little bit confusing because people do think that we work, that we're a city department, and we're not. We are a nonprofit, and we work directly with the community. And in the simplest of terms, our organization is set up to support the small businesses. We do a ton of other things, but that's really the key to what we do. Everything that we do comes back to the small businesses. Every decision that we make, every initiative that we discuss, they're always top of mind.
Right. So it sounds like the core mission really is kind of supporting the local businesses.
Exactly.
And what qualities or moments from your work feel the most true to that?
I mean, every single thing that we do really harkens back to them. They're really the lifeblood of the neighborhood. It's why we want to live here. It's why we want to work here. It's them.
Right.
A lot of the businesses on our main street have been here for generations. So they're passed down. They're all, not all, but a lot of them are legacy businesses. We have a bunch that I can think of off the top of my head where mother and daughter, father and son work together now. There's brothers and sisters who are working together now after the dad has passed it down. So there's a lot of organizations like that. And it's really important for me and for us to remember that. And remember that it's not just a storefront that you walk by every day, but it's people's families and it's people's memories and it's people's legacies. So that's really important. And I think that that's something that makes West Roxbury really unique, is that people sort of come here and they stay for a really, really long time. People don't really want to leave.
Right.
They want to remain, and they don't want to see these businesses go. So it's important for us, obviously, economics change and times change and things, but however best we can support them. And we do that in a lot of different ways. We're always sort of connecting them with services and things that they may need. Yep. Or hosting workshops, information that they might not get otherwise. The thing to keep in mind too with the small businesses is that they're busy. They're really, really busy. And it's not just during the times that they're open, it's all the time. So trying to accommodate their schedules is really important. So a lot of times that means just me going down and talking to them. Right. Maybe they can't make a workshop, or, we have a lot of events that are really geared towards benefiting the community and bringing us all together, because that's another thing that makes West Roxbury so great. And we try to incorporate the small businesses as best we can. And some events lend themselves to highlighting different organizations and different businesses. And the ones that maybe aren't able to, they can't close during that time, or they're not open during that time, we definitely try to incorporate them as well.
Right. A local business owner, I've seen that. I've seen your heart in action. I've seen the organization really step up and help with we do have a little bit of new growth, but like you said, there is a historical character to what happens here, and stories, people's stories. I know how essential West Roxbury Main Street is to the business community. So I'd love to talk about some of the things that you guys are doing to help bring everyone together. So is there a story maybe that you could share about a local business or a moment from a West Roxbury Main Street event that you feel maybe captures the spirit of what you just discussed?
And there's a lot. There's a lot to, as soon as the question is asked, all of these things pop into my head.
Russian, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing that I really want to sort of drive home though is it's the people, right? I think of Moses and Jake at West Roxbury Framing. I love Moses so much. He is the nicest, kindest man. And he's working now with his son down. They're just so sweet. And anything that I were to ever ask of them, they would do, because they know how much we care, right, which I think is really important. It's not just an organization, and they're not just a business. I genuinely care about them, and they genuinely care about me and what we do. So they can see how important that is too. Maria Nicoletta at the toy store. The toy store is one of the only, we're not so retail heavy here. And what's more fun than a toy store in your district? So you do everything you can to kind of hold on to these people, because they care so much. Yeah. They've been there over 30 years. Right. And that is a huge accomplishment in and of itself. Right. But now to be able to do that, I know with her daughter and with her mom, and, they're daughters and moms, and that's, the way it is, but they just genuinely love doing it. We have partnered with them recently to do a couple night shops, especially around the holidays, for parents to, put their kids to bed, and they'll open the shop back up so everybody can go in and shop in peace. And that's been really fun. We have a bunch of signature events, one being our holiday market that we have every December. And that's a big one. And it keeps growing every year. Yep. And it always shocks me what we can kind of do and how we can transform a parking lot. Right. And it's just such a festive, fun atmosphere. And the businesses participate. Some of them have tables. Some of them are vendors. Some of them participate by donating to our raffles so that they can get businesses. A lot of people, I would say everybody that was asked, this is unequivocally 100%, everybody who was asked donated to this event. Right. We had people like Bread Time. They gave complimentary bread before the event. We had The Real Deal, the Boston Ale House. They did signature drinks and half-price pizzas and things. So it really was a really nice community feel, really the whole holiday season, but that night in particular was pretty great. Yeah, that's definitely one of, my favorite annual events that happen around here, especially because, we don't have the taste anymore, and we couldn't do Westy Fest because of Billings Fields being redone. So it's kind of nice to have that,
one annual thing that we know is coming every year. And it just, like you said, gets bigger and better. So I would say that's my favorite annual event. But I am looking forward to Westfest coming back. So, and you touched on something I wanted to kind of touch on too, is that we do have a lot of like hidden gem businesses. And there's not a lot of toy stores around anymore. You mentioned the framing company, like another great like hidden gem. Do you have any others that you could maybe introduce to people that they could go and check out?
There's actually a lot. Everybody always makes fun of me because I'm constantly pushing the vacuum shop. I love the vacuum shop. You don't know that you need them until you need them.
Yeah, I mean, it's another thing that like it's hard to find these kind of stores.
It is hard to find these types of places. And it is very small town. Like it feels very small town, even though we're part of the big city. Like it really does feel that way. I had to go in just the other day and, they're so helpful.
Yeah.
They will try to do whatever they can to help. They're really, really great.
Right.
And now it's like the brothers and sisters who are working there after passed down from the dad. So that's really great. I mean, even next door, you have Blue Hill Appliance. They've been there forever. And, it's sort of reminiscent to me about kind of like what West Roxbury is. Like, it's a little bit nostalgic. It's, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but these people genuinely care. They know you.
Yeah.
I don't go to the vacuum shop every day, but they know you when you walk in. And even if they don't, you feel like they do.
Right.
We have a lot of hair salons, which is great. Cheryl from Images is wonderful.
Yeah. She just won the storefront contest.
She just won the storefront decorating contest with so many businesses.
And she's great. She comes to everything. She's really involved as well.
She comes to every event. Yeah. She wants to know how she can participate, however way. I mean, this summer we did a whole series that was called Summer on Center. Yeah. Saying summer is genuinely more quiet on the main street. Like people are away on vacations and things. So we did a series called Summer on Center, and one of them that we did was Snouts on Center. Yeah. And it was geared towards all the dogs and the pets. And we do actually have quite a few grooming places. One new one just opened up.
Yeah, right near me, actually.
Yes, right. Yeah, right next to you. Marin, she's wonderful.
Yeah.
Overall Pet Salon, Wolfgang Bakery and Grooming opened right up the street, closer to Star Market.
Yeah.
But Cheryl came dressed as a Dalmatian, so she really participated in that event.
She is the best.
She's great.
Wonderful.
She's really great. So, Canessa at Perfect 10 is incredible. She just celebrated 10 years.
Super involved.
Last year, super involved.
Yeah.
And 10, we say 30 years. 10 years is a big accomplishment.
I know.
So she had a big gala, and that, so to celebrate that success, it's admirable.
Yeah, I agree. And she was also West Roxbury Main Streets for a while, and definitely has some great input for how to help the businesses. I love that the board for West Roxbury Main Streets, for example, is a really good mix of people in the community and businesses in the community. Yes. And how is, the board synergy, and what are some of the changes that you've seen happening since you took over?
Well, the board is great. We've really grown the board. I think we gained 5 new board members in the time that I've been here, which is about 2 years, a little over 2 years. And everybody brings their own individuality. Everybody brings their own skill set, and everybody really sort of blends together they have a lot of connections and they have a lot of passion. Mm-hmm. And that's really the most important thing when you're serving on a board, because it's a commitment. It is a commitment. And just to know that those 10 people care so much about what we do is really, really incredible. And 2, there are so many people that are not officially on the board, but who would not hesitate to help no matter what.
Right.
And any question, I think of Anne Marie from Pretty Moon Mercantile. Anything we would ever need, she's the first one to answer the phone. She's ready to go. Tony at the Quorum, he's the same way. Like whatever we need, he's there to help us. The Boston Ale House, we partner with them to do a ton of events.
Right.
And they're always so generous with their time, their space. So there's a lot of great relationships in this within the organization and then also externally. So you know, it's not to say that it makes the work easy, but it definitely makes it more impactful.
Yeah. And, you know, being a board member, I totally agree with everything you're saying. I was interested to hear your kind of take on it all, but I feel the same way. Like there really is community and partnership happening across the board, literally, and, you know, across the board in the businesses in the community and the people in the community. And
absolutely.
And yeah, it's been a lot of fun being a part of it and seeing the growth. And yeah, I'm interested to see, you know, what we're going to be doing next kind of thing. Like it's always very exciting. Now you stepped up and you've been doing like events every month pretty much. Oh, excuse me. And, I loved the Summer on Center, and there was, what was the other thing? Oh, the art walk is like another one of my favorite things. And what do you have coming up for this year? What do you have planned for this year?
This is actually a big year. So West Roxbury turns 175 this year. So there's a lot of little events, little events coming up, where you're right. We try to have an event every month. We try to, you know, whatever that may be, we try to vary it for the community. And sometimes they're geared towards kids. Sometimes it's art. Sometimes it's a workshop, that sort of stuff. So this month in January, we're partnering with Sugar Bakery, who's also another, they have such a long-standing history in this neighborhood. So, it's always nice to do stuff with them. So we're gonna co-host a cookie decorating for January.
Fun.
Get some kids out of the house.
Yeah.
February we're gonna do sip and shop.
Okay.
So you can have a nice glass of champagne while you shop for your Valentine. And March we're gonna partner with Parkway in Motion, which is another really wonderful nonprofit organization based around the Parkway area. They do a lot of events in West Roxbury. We just partnered with them for the first time this past October to do their trick or treat on Center Street. So we're going to do something sort of similar this year for March, where we do a leprechaun scavenger hunt, which will be really fun.
Yeah.
And then April, we're going to do breakfast with a bunny, all that kind of good stuff. But then that brings us to May, which is going to be our big event this year to celebrate the 175th anniversary of West Roxbury. So that's going to take place on May 16th. At the Irish Social Club, which is another, you know, mainstay in the neighborhood.
Right.
And so we actually just had our first planning meeting last night. Huge turnout, really great ideas. Awesome. Everybody's super excited about it. And there's a lot of real community buy-in. And really the thought process for an event like this, especially for 175, is that we just wanted to feel like a reunion.
Right.
You know, our approach to this event is nostalgic and honorary and sustainable and fun. We'll have entertainment. We're thinking of having a comedian. We're having a DJ or a band. It's going to be a really, really fun event. And because we are who we are, we're going to obviously highlight the small businesses, past and present. So there's going to be a lot of great photos to look at and a lot of great memorabilia. I think that sort of the thought last night, especially being in this group, this very varied group, for an event like this, we want to cross generations, because this is such a generational town, but we want people who just moved in April to come to this event and see what it's about. We want people who have lived here for 50 years to come and see. My parents are already buy me a ticket. We want to come.
Right.
So it's more than, we're just celebrating more than just a town. It's your childhood, your friends, your memories, all of that. So that's going to be a big event. And then there's going to be sort of peripheral events scattered about. Sandy Circus over at the West Roxbury Historical Society is doing a slogan contest, which is super exciting.
Cool.
She said she already got some great ones. We're going to work with them. We're going to do a West Roxbury trivia night right on the lawn at the library. We're thinking of doing a parade.
Ooh,
so
fun.
There's a lot of stuff in the works for this year.
Yeah.
In addition to all the stuff that is regularly on our schedule.
Right. Wow. Yeah. 175. That will be exciting.
It'll be great.
And, you brought up something when we're helping people move into the area, I have to say, like, I'm immediately telling them about West Roxbury Main Streets. I'm telling them about Parkway in Motion, like all the people they need to follow to know what's happening in our area and to get involved. And, anywhere from the kid level to the business level to community level stuff. Mm-hmm. So I really love that. That's awesome. I'm psyched for it.
It's going to be fun. One of the things that I really love that sort of seems to be happening, and I'm sure that it has happened in the past, but I feel like it's happening more and more, is that businesses are partnering with each other.
Yes.
Which I think is really great. Like, yeah. I don't, I'm sure that happens other places, but it just seems really significant that it seems to be sort of popping up a whole lot more now, where they don't even have anything to do with each other, and yet it works.
Yeah. Collabs are like the thing right now.
Yeah.
Too. And that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's been, I have to say, we've had our office here for 10 years, and you're right. There's not a lot of turnover, but there is welcoming to anybody coming in new. And, Bread Time is one of the newer takeout spots, and it's so busy and it's so delicious there. And, I really love
and another family-run business.
Yeah,
like they're so incredible.
Yeah,
and if you have not tried Lebanese coffee, like that's going to blow your mind, because it's totally different. And Gabby will make you drink it because you're going to love it.
I have to try that. I haven't tried that.
It is so good.
Wow. I have a whole list of things, especially now that we're doing the podcast and we hope to kind of feature all of these people at some point or another. I have like a whole list of new things to even try, and I've lived here for 15 years. So I
think at some point, like you brought up the taste, right? And that's like logistical.
Yeah.
Nightmare a little bit. Like it's just very difficult for people, but everybody loved it so much.
I know.
We'll have to do.
Oh, I wonder if we could do like a taste walk.
You could. I mean, you should do it.
That would be fun.
Now, podcast part 2 is like Anthem Gourmet, West Roxbury edition.
Totally. So, I want to thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you coming on. West Roxbury is so unique. Our Main Streets district is so unique because of the way we're kind of one long road instead of a square. And I really think that you've done a fantastic job taking the helm, and the beautification and marketing committees are absolutely crushing it. I know
the committees are incredible. They're so dedicated. They're just such a dedicated group of volunteers, and I got a text from one of them this morning. Like they're already planning for the holiday season next year. Like that's how they
ahead of it.
Really are very, very ahead. Like they care so much, and
they really do.
They're excited to do it. And then they're excited to go to have drinks after at the Korub. And that's probably the best part. The committees are excellent.
Yeah. And it shows. I mean, it visually shows, right? Like it's been wonderful. Yeah. So thank you, Lindsey, for coming on. I appreciate you sharing the vital work that your West Roxbury Main Streets does. They really touch everyone here in some, shape or form. And I hope that people will want to get involved after listening today. So what's the best way for them to reach you or follow West Roxbury Main Streets in general?
Yeah. So if they go to WRMS.org, please follow along to our newsletter. That's where you're going to get the first bite of all the information that we send out, all the upcoming events and all that kind of stuff. We are active on Facebook and Instagram. And then if anybody needs to reach me ever, director@WRMS.org.
Great. Well, thank you, Lindsey. I appreciate it. I'm going to, you might find this interesting. I wanted to just grab some commercial stats because we talked last time on our last episode about how we only had a couple hundred home sales in West Roxbury. And so I thought it would be interesting today to kind of take a look at the commercial stuff going on. I didn't look into commercial rentals, but I do know that we have a few spaces available, specifically the Family Dollar space. The smaller spaces seem to turn over kind of quick, but not those bigger spaces. So if anyone's interested in grabbing a big retail space, in a really prime area, let us know. But I did take a look to see what sold last year in 02132 for 2025. And we only had 3 commercial buildings that sold. So there's really not a lot of commercial turnover here. Like you said, it makes sense because we have these legacy businesses that are kind of just sending things down and throughout their families. But we do have 2 properties on the market that I saw, a large colonial style listing down by Holy Name for 1.1 and the Corey Street potential development across from the Social Club for 1.5 million. So if anybody is listening and they are interested in kind of digging into some commercial real estate stuff, Parkway Real Estate has started a commercial branch called PTP Commercial, and we would be more than happy to help someone. So we hope today's conversation leaves you inspired to shop local first, carry that community support into your own routine. And Lindsey, thank you again. I really appreciate you coming on. And from all of us at Parkway Real Estate, thank you for listening. We'll see you next time for another story from West Roxbury.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for more insightful episodes of the Parkway RE podcast with your host, Danielle O'Brien.